first time when we met and I left, what your parents said. And I'm sure your parents didn't know exactly that you introduced them to your
Not at that time, no.
soulmate.
Was that when we had tea?
Yes, that was when we had the tea.
I think you had a worse experience leaving that meeting than my
I'll
parents
tell this
did.
story once. Я эту историю расскажу как-нибудь на посиделках.
They liked you. My parents are genuinely pretty open and accepting. They liked you. They found you funny. They found you entertaining. They thought you were a sweet person. They may have thought you were a little bit loud and intimidating. Let's just say Russian speakers, and I'm not meaning to stereotype, but they do have a certain persona that follows them around. Kind of, it scares people. I'm sorry, but if you're anyone from Western Europe or the Americas or anything, Russians and Russian speakers can be a little bit intimidating. They really did like you. I don't recall them saying anything bad, other than, wow, there's a lot of personality wrapped up in that one person, isn't there?
Yep, it is. Ooh, this is something's going to be easy. Some people ask questions in English.
Oh, how nice.
Yes. So, Leia Skywalker asking. Hello, Steven. Pick one of this. So, or you can... Oh, you need to pick one of those. Tony Stark or Steve Rogers?
Tony Stark.
Or Steve Rogers. Do you know who Steve Rogers is?
I don't know who either of them is.
Tony Stark is Iron Man. Steve Rogers is Captain America.
I thought...
Он не смотрит вообще супергеройские фильмы от слова вообще, потому что...
I thought Robert Downey Jr. was...
Yes,
Iron
but
Man.
he is playing the in the movie. He is the Tony Stark,
Oh, okay, gotcha. And who was the other one?
Captain America.
Captain America. Iron Man. Captain American's too much of a goody two-shoes, all-American good boy. He reminds me of like a Mormon guy. Honestly, too good. Not enough flaws. He doesn't seem as human to me. Iron Man I can relate to because he's imperfect and he's not ashamed of it.
Good. So, Tom and Jerry or Looney Tunes?
That's hard because there are a lot of Looney Tunes characters.
But for me, that's what's help. You go to space and you can take for entertainment Tom and Jerry or Looney Tunes. What would you choose?
Looney Tunes.
Okay. And the last one, Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter? Harry Potter.
These are not easy questions.
Nope. But that's describe a lot about you.
That's so hard. That is really, really... Well, I know which one you want me to pick, yeah, but it's not that simple for me. I really love Lord of the Rings.
Okay, you go into space and you can take with you Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter.
I'll say Harry Potter because there'd be more to watch. I wouldn't be as bored. Lord of the Rings, there are only 3 movies.
Okay, good. Ta-da! Accept. You're not sleeping on the couch tonight. Okay. Next question. What was your perception of a Russian-Ukrainian culture until you met me? And did your perception of the culture changed after you became actively involved with such a persona?
My perception of Ukrainian and Russian culture, I always loved it. I always thought it was fascinating. The history, the architecture, the arts, the music, everything fascinating. I always saw Russians and Ukrainians as very intelligent people, very great minds, not as stern and somewhat cold as the Germans. Definitely more organized than the Americans. I always had a great deal of respect for them. They're people I would listen to. actively seek out their opinion on matters because they have a perspective that is much more well-rounded, I think. Then I met you. You didn't really change my perspective of, let's say, Soviet culture, just to collect all of them into that. You didn't really change my perspective, but you opened so much more to me. Before I met you, I felt like I was outside looking in through a window. Now I'm actually inside. I'm living the culture and I'm enjoying the culture, not just wishing I could be part of it. Now I am a part of it. I actually feel... Yeah, I feel like you've done a better job at culturalizing me than I have to you. I'm not kidding. Seriously. He has been more successful at adapting me to his culture than the other way around. In 7-8 years, gosh, I'm ready to go to Ukraine. I'm ready to go to Russia and feel confident that I know what I'm doing, know how to talk, know how to act, know where to go, know what to eat, definitely. But you have shown me a more personal side to it. You've shown me more the sense of humor that I couldn't actively see before. You helped me to understand a lot of things I didn't understand about their culture. And you also broadened my mind, because here, every country is fed propaganda. The Soviets were fed propaganda against Americans. We were fed propaganda against the Soviets. And you taught me how much was actually not true. A lot of the things we learned, a lot of the stereotypes, and I'm glad for that.
I will cut a lot of this bullshit. Just letting you know.
Okay.
Okay. Zolida said Steven and 3 flames.
What's that mean?
Hot.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, wink for Isolda. Okay, so...
and shout out to Leia Skywalker. I've seen her on there before.
Okay.
Hey.
So, вопрос к Стивену. Почему Володя? Why Володя?
Why Volodya?
Yes. Out of all of the fishes in the ocean, the much more established, younger, less problematic, let's say, Volodya.
I think a better question would be, Volodya, why Steven? You set a trap for me and caught me and didn't let me go.
Yep, chained him up by the ankle.
This didn't just happen. This wasn't just overnight, like, you're the one. I tried to escape quite a bit, actually, but you wouldn't let me. And then I think at some point, I found your determination so endearing, and I had never had someone fight for me so much. I thought, you know what? This person wants me more than anyone else ever has, respects me more than anyone else ever has, and is fighting for me. And after a while, I couldn't help but just fall in love with you and think,
That sounds like this.
It sounds bad. I don't mean it that way.
When you capture someone.
It was not Stockholm Syndrome. This was not Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh, okay, this person, I love you now.
No, it wasn't like that. It really, if it sounds like that, I'm sorry, but that's not how it was.
Yeah, I know.
I finally realized what I really wanted and needed in life, and it's what you were throwing at me, whereas before I would fall for these guys who, maybe they were younger, maybe they were this, maybe they were that, but they didn't really give a flying flip about me, So many of them cheated on me, so many of them treated me like crap, but I don't regret being with you. It's been almost 8 years now, and I hope there will be many, many, many more than that.
Amen to that.
Does that actually offend you?
No.
I don't mean it to sound like Stockholm Syndrome.
Again, this is need to be like on a heartbeat. We need something, and it doesn't need to sound like too sweetery. So I'm trying to put little bit of sourness